The Paycheck Protection Program is on set to exhaust its $350 billion funding from Congress this morning. Democrats and Republicans both want to add another $250 billion to that emergency coronavirus funding, but have yet to come to agreement on whether to add restrictions to the loans or not. Joining us now, NBC News senior business correspondent and an MSNBC anchor, Stephanie Ruhle. And Joe, this is a big issue right now because of the potential for abuse.
Stephanie, it's a huge issue, and you've talked to us about this, but I've got friends in Pensacola, Florida. I've got friends in South Florida. They have businesses that depend on a lot of people coming in this time of year, people that have restaurants around spring training facilities, and they're not getting any money. They're not getting help. And yet you told us stories like if somebody has a yacht, owns a yacht, and decides that they're going to charter a yacht 5, 6, 7 times a year, those people can get money. Small business owners are having trouble getting money themselves. This sounds like 2008 all over again, where the rich get richer and the poor get crushed.
Well, Joe, that's the exact risk here. And remember in 2008, when things were put in place, they were put in place with bad intentions. After the subprime crisis, when rescues came in and suddenly we said, hold on a second, the banks, it all worked out for them in the end, but people still lost their homes. Do you remember how angry people were? They were angry saying, how come none of these bankers went to jail? None of the bankers went to jail because technically they didn't break the law. And so right here we are again in an emergency situation where we need to help people. And if we don't take a closer look at the language, what is going to happen and what is happening is that the savviest will win and the neediest will lose. So you're giving a really important and good example, because the way this program works, yes, they're trying to get another $250 billion, but I promise you, there's going to be in the trillions when it comes to demand. Because if you're a restaurant in Pensacola, just like you said, you're completely shut down right now. You have zero income. And to get this loan, you basically get 2.5 times payroll for the next 2 months, but you've got to bring everybody back on. So you're going to hire everybody back, and you don't know. You might not be open again in 2.5 months. It's a huge risk. And that small restaurant, they don't have a great relationship with the bank, so they weren't able to get in early. Now let's go to the reverse. This is perfectly suited for a private country club, a law firm, an investment firm, or just like you said, somebody who literally owns a yacht or a private plane. And let's walk through that example because it's important to show people. If I owned a yacht or a plane and said 3 times a year, I'm going to charter it out, well, chances are I've lost those charters because people aren't traveling. But I've got a captain and a crew. So my business manager would say, hey, Stephanie, you can apply for PPP because technically, Joe, I am eligible. I am going to lose that income. But you and I both know that person that owns a plane or a yacht or a private club, they don't need that. And this money is going to run out. And if Congress doesn't look at this right now and say, let's see who this money is going to, then you and I are going to be sitting in these exact seats 6 months from now doing a financial autopsy going, hold on a second. These people took the money. All we'll be able to do is publicly shame them. But that nail salon and that restaurant, they'll be long out of business. This is an opportunity for Congress to really look at where this is money going.
We really have to put strings attached to this to make sure that this isn't 2008 all over again. Stephanie Ruhle, thank you so much. We're going to see you right after our special this morning, but also would love for you to come back tomorrow and talk about this more because it is such an important issue. Thank you so much. Jonathan Lemire, let's follow up on what Stephanie said. You have retailers, small business owners who have restaurants, whether it's restaurants, nail salons, whether it's a builder, whether it's a realtor. They're getting crushed right now. And yet there are examples like Stephanie said where sometimes it's getting to people who aren't the most disadvantaged. It's getting to people who could get by without the funding. Well, a lot of people that have small businesses who are in pain still tell me they're not able to get support.
There's no question, Joe, that has become a rather widespread and sad story across the nation right now. These small businesses that have tried to keep going, that have tried to keep their workers employed, that have tried, say, as a restaurant, to transform into a takeout business, to remain a part of the community, which they've been in for so long and are so beloved, and are really struggling and have a hard time receiving the necessary federal support. And we're still at the very beginning of this crisis financially. The government is going to have to come up with far more money to try to stabilize this economy, even if the president is able to, quote, reopen things as of May 1st. Things have certainly cooled in the talks of a phase 4. There's been no discussions with Speaker Pelosi. There's been real dispute over infrastructure. And yesterday, one of the president's primary concerns, whether or not his name appeared on the checks that Americans were receiving, which, according to reporting, has even delayed their delivery to those that need them most.
All right. We're going to get more on the political angle of this when NBC's Casey Hunt joins us with the latest from Capitol Hill.
Plus, we're about an hour away from our Morning Joe special report, Isolation Nation, in which we speak live with the apparent Democratic nominee for president, Joe Biden, and Dr. Jill Biden joins us as well.
Lady Gaga, Stan McChrystal,
Pete Buttigieg. Morning Joe is coming right back.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.